This topic I'm going to talk about right now is a big one, and it's one that we face every day in our office with someone who's really sad or very hurt that a relationship that they were in, that they had hoped that would last forever, as we all do when we get into a love relationship. It didn't. And they're having an extremely hard time letting it go. And they don't understand why. So many of my clients will say, David, I don't know why I still yearn for him or her. I don't know why I still think about them. I don't know why I ruminate. I don't know why I focus on all the negative that was in that relationship. Or some people will say, David, it wasn't a good relationship, but I keep focusing on those few positive things and it draws me back to that person. It makes me want to go back to that person. But why is that? Why is all this stuff going on when we have realized, unfortunately, that the relationship may not be the best for us? It may not be healthy for us. Now, the other person may be great and they may think it's the most wonderful thing in the world, but we have to trust our intuition. And when we feel something is off, we have to act on it. So what are some of the reasons it's so hard to leave? Well, number one is oxytocin. Oh my God. One of the most powerful hormones in the world. It's called the bonding hormone for a reason. Now, women usually have a much higher percentage of oxytocin than men, but I've met some very sensitive men that have extremely high levels of oxytocin. So, oxytocin is the bonding hormone. That means once that you kiss, once you make love, once you do any type of sexual intimacy, that oxytocin is released, right? And so it's released for a reason, to bond us to that person, to make us want to be with them again. And then we were with them again. And sometimes it can just take holding hands and oxytocin is released. I found my life partner, that type of a feeling, right? And then when that's busted, well, as with any hormone, you're going to go through withdrawal. So when you're not making love on a weekly basis, you're not holding hands or kissing on a daily basis or whatever your gig was, well, there's a withdrawal of oxytocin. The oxytocin is now going backwards, right? It's used to having that hand. It's used to making love and having it flood the brain. And now there's no touch. And now there's no positive communication. And so there's withdrawal. So that can make us want to go back to the person because we don't want to go through this oxytocin withdrawal anymore. The other thing, there's some belief systems, that at my age, I'm not going to be able to find another guy. At my age, I'm not going to be able to find another woman. I mean, some of those things will come into play. We might have abandonment issues from our childhood where, we weren't supported by a mom or a dad or whatever it might be, whoever the adult was in our household that we were growing up. Maybe we were abandoned by them. And so when a relationship breaks up, even if it's really unhealthy, we feel that abandonment. It freaks us out. And all we want to do is to be with someone. And if that someone isn't healthy, but that abandonment issue from childhood hasn't been cleared up, well, then we're going to go back to that person just to have someone. Another factor that so many people say isn't true, but it is so true, is the fear of being alone. I have guys in their 70s contacting me who have been divorced for a couple years and they're petrified to be alone. I have women in their late 20s that are petrified of being alone. Now everyone says, oh, I'm great on my own, but then when it comes to a weekend and then they're, smoking cigarettes or they're getting stoned or they're eating a ton of junk food or whatever, that's not being alone, right? They're filling that emotional void instead of with a person, with food or substances, addictions, etc. Listen, there's so many reasons of why we could be drawn back towards a person that isn't right for us. It doesn't mean that person's a bad person. It just means that it's not right for us. And if we can become stronger, we can break all of those things I'm talking about. The oxytocin withdrawal will eventually fade away if you can give it some space, right? The abandonment issues, that's something you should really work with a professional about. If you're going back after a relationship that wasn't healthy, there probably is some abandonment stuff going on and you really want to get that taken care of, or we're just going to repeat it with the next person. Listen. The Mental Cleanse with David Essel is a series I'm doing right now. And we do know this. When you cleanse your mind, you cleanse your life. Please take these videos seriously. And if I can give you any tools or tips on these videos, please apply them because they really do work, right? We have 5 free books at my website, talkdavid.com. I'm David Essel. Have a beautiful day.